Welcome to Real Dad Bro Talk, where all the guys come to hang out. 100% real talk with Justin and Matt. Here we go.
All right. Welcome to Real Dad Bro Talk. Your host, Matt, and filling in yet again is Nick Hill this week, man. So Nick's filling in again. He filled in last week. He did a great job, helped me out. And this week he's going to be doing it again. So want to say, what's up, Nick? You there, buddy?
What's going on, bud?
What's up, man? Yeah, I appreciate you again filling in. And just so the audience knows that going forward, though, Nick is definitely going to be more part of the show. I felt that last week was real good, and we got a real good positive feedback from last week. So we're going to continue to move forward with that, and Nick's going to be a regular. We're going to do some real cool things. We're going to do a lot of things on. We're going to increase the YouTube channel, so you'll see some funny things coming up. We'll talk more about that next week. But this week's episode, man, we got some good stuff. We have some good topics we want to talk about. We're going to talk about virtual reality in regards to like PlayStation games, but also the business world and other things. The NFL playoffs happen. We want to check on our predictions and things that we talked about last week, see where we kind of came in at, and then talk about the Super Bowl or leading up to the Super Bowl. And then we're going to talk about, if we got some time, we got a couple things too. We're going to roll into, if you were to pick like your own NFL team, quarterback, running back, some receivers and tight ends, things like that, like who would you pick? And then we're going to throw out a contest out there too for the Super Bowl because that's a big deal. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And then an awesome new video that we're going to put out very soon, and we want to get your input on that one, man. So yeah, I'm coming, man. You're in Ohio, right, buddy? That's where you're calling from today.
I'm in cold Ohio.
Yes,
but
sir.
At least no snow, so I will take it.
That's right, man. But I'm taking it a little bit different today. I'm actually out in Vegas doing some stuff today, so I'm coming live from Vegas. It is only 8:30 here, but it's 11:30 by you, so I appreciate you taking the time tonight, man, to do this for us. So, awesome.
Ready to rock and roll, bud.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, let's get right into it, buddy. So, virtual reality. Really want to talk about that one because it's a big thing right now between AI and VR and things of that nature. But I'm more familiar and comfortable with talking about VR because of the video game system. So, you've used a VR, right?
Yeah, so I had a Android phone when I bought. It came with this like headset where you put the phone inside of it and you put your headphones in. You looked around. So I've had a little bit of experience, but it's something. I think it's going to be getting bigger and bigger. The stuff you can do with it and stuff that's already out there for it. It's kind of cool. For sure, it was big. It was a big thing at CES. I mean, it's always kind of a big thing to talk about, but things are really starting to progress with that and take it to different lengths and levels. So I have I got a PS4 and I have the virtual reality for PlayStation. So I have quite a few games, man, to play for VR, and it is insane because I came from Nintendo. Nintendo Classic. I'm playing. My games were Duck Hunt, and I was so pumped about that. So to kind of see where all the video games have gone to where you are, where you've always thought about virtual reality being a realistic thing to do, to have it be able to be in your home, it's pretty cool to do that. So I have for people that haven't done it, it's realer than you think. It's definitely you look around 360 and everything is around you. Like we have this game, it's Resident Evil 7, right? So backlog is I like to watch scary stuff, I guess, more like ghost stuff. A big pansy when it comes to like blood and stuff. Like I don't like that. So or zombies I'm kind of cool with, but then if it gets too gory, I'm like, oh gosh, can't watch it. But Resident Evil is terrifying. It is the scariest damn game that I could even imagine, and of course my wife thinks it's hilarious to laugh at me when I'm put in a situation where I might pee myself. So she throws me into this game, and first of all, it's already scary because it's just it's so real, and you don't know what's going to go on. So it's not like a game you've ever played, so you can't really like, oh, this is about to happen. You can't like, well, this girl's going to jump out at me. No, it's like you have no idea what's happening. So when you're in this house, you're already scared. You're seeing like apparitions scare the hell out of you the entire time, and then you are basically seeing this video of something that happened way before you get there. So it's leading you to certain places in this house, right? So no joke.
So I'm following this videotape to tell me where to go. So I'm going down in there. I'm already scared. Like I said, it's dark as hell. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared. I feel like I'm in this real world of just scary shit everywhere around me. And I have to go downstairs, and I'm underneath this house. But I have to go, like, underneath this house into, like, water, right, to get to this next spot. So I'm like, imagine, like, the floor above you with maybe 2 feet of space, and you're wading through water. So I'm doing that, and I'm thinking, oh, man, something's going to pop out of the water. I'm going to crap my pants, and I'm going to throw the headset, and I'm going to punch somebody, right? So I'm going through this whole thing, and then my wife says, man, that doesn't look just like water. That looks like shit and pee. And immediately, because the way the water was weighted, it was like literally washing up on me. I literally just started to I was like just, I couldn't, like, my mind couldn't get away the fact that, like, I'm swallowing shit water, and I was about ready to take the headset off and throw up all over the place. And she's just laughing hysterically, thinking that this is the funniest thing in the world. But in all reality, like, when you're in that type of an environment, you really, really feel like you are in the situation where you are swallowing or doing whatever you were doing in this world. So I had to get past that, which I did. Reluctantly, didn't want to do it. Still moved on. Got to the point where I find out there are zombies in this game, which didn't know that anyways, which made it even worse. And end up getting attacked by a zombie in this game that felt so real to where I had to pick up an axe in this game, and I stabbed her in the neck. I literally grabbed the axe and I shucked it right in her neck, and I had to take the headset off, and I looked at my wife and I said, I freaking just killed somebody. Like, I felt like I literally had just committed murder, and I was going to jail. And
here's my question now.
Yeah.
Now, when you took the headset off, you're all done. Were your underpants a little bit wet, bud?
I guarantee that they were. You know what? I didn't tell anybody that, but I guarantee you, at some point, something happened to the whole. Because I mean, I'm sweating bullets first and foremost. I don't want to do it. I'm scared to death because everything around you is pitch black. And then someone tries to jump at you, and you grab an axe, you kill somebody. But I literally felt like I felt like I had to say goodbye to people because I'm getting ready to get taken off to prison. Even though she was a zombie, I killed somebody.
That's the crazy thing with these for someone that hasn't tried one of these things on. So you have this headset, and then you have usually some earphones in or a headset or something to go with it. So when you're listening to everything around you and the way the sound is, you can actually hear stuff behind you, in front of you, beside you. You look to your left, your whole thing moves. So you're actually looking. There's no way to get away from it. The only way is to take the damn thing off, but you're into it. You don't even think about it.
Exactly. You're in the game. Like, it is you. You are physically somehow have transferred into the video game, and you can't I can't convince myself that the stuff that's going around me is not real. Like, it's just that's how I've always been with all that stuff anyways, but like, it really puts you in there. Like, we have another game that's the Batman game, and it's really cool. It started off awesome, but like, I'm not a huge Batman fan, but Batman's pretty cool though, right? So in the game, like, you become freaking Batman, man. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, you go down in the Batcave, and I put on the cowl and my gloves and my batarangs and stuff, and I literally, again, I took my mask off, and I looked at my wife, and I'm like, I'm freaking Batman. Like, this is the craziest shit that could ever happen. You know, like, you're flying around in a Batmobile and stuff. Like, it is crazy. So, like, that leads us into the other stuff. Like, this is going to be something that isn't just going to be for games. I mean, games are going to take a whole new level with this stuff already. I mean, they already are, right? Like, you're going to scare the shit out of people. I mean, can you imagine playing a game like this, too? Like, if it's like Madden, and you're the quarterback. Think about that. Like, you're in the game, and you're calling the plays, and you're seeing it the way that, like a Tom Brady or, all these guys that are seeing that stuff. That's going to be just that experience that people have never got to have. And it will be a premium price and things, and people will pay for that stuff for sure, 100%.
Absolutely. So, you get to run out on the Lambeau Field, and you're throwing passes to Devontae Adams.
Exactly.
You're paying that price.
100%. It's an experience, that feeling to feel like you're part of that, the National Football or whatever it is, right? But like, just that you made it type feeling, and if you get to kind of feel the way that these stars of athletes, and everybody feels it's pretty cool. And it's not going to stop there. I mean, think about that stuff. I mean, virtual reality can go, like you said, like we even talked about too before. We've talked about how people are using it to sell stuff. They're selling their homes this way because you're giving us virtual reality tours. They're able to maybe feel like they're really there and experience the home without actually being in the home. There's different ways that people are using this. I even saw that you put on there, like on this thing too, where it was colleges. That's brilliant. If you could get people to experience that.
Yeah, imagine like say with the house, say you're moving cross country, and you don't really want to hop on a plane. God knows how many times to go look at this house, go look at that house, so you're not just moving and looking at pictures online and hoping it looks as good as it does online. Mm-hmm. If you're able to put a headset on, you can actually tour through the house and kind of see what this room feels like, what that room feels like, what the backyard feels like, what the neighborhood does.
Right.
It takes stuff to a whole new level. College campus the same way. Your kid wants to go the other side of the country to help a lot quicker just to pop that
colleges
thing on
too, to be able to recruit people, get people to come to their college. If they're the first ones to adapt to this type of system or this technology, they could be first to market with it and get people to come from Ohio all the way to freaking Iowa or whatever it is. You know what I mean? But people that probably wouldn't do that might have a better chance to do that because they've seen the atmosphere. So I think virtual reality hasn't peaked. It's just tipping the iceberg, and that it's almost going to be the point where if you don't associate yourself with some sort of virtual reality and some shape or form, then you're definitely going to be behind the eight ball. Like you're not going to be the cool guy or cool girl. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be one of those things where it's just going to be we're going to look at it as a cell phone. If you don't have a cell phone, like you're crazy, right? So I think it'll be the same way.
I think probably when I was looking at the virtual reality and thinking of stuff they can do with it and stuff that's probably going to be coming, imagine. We'll take the Super Bowl, for example. Thousands of dollars for these tickets. Imagine being able to pay, I don't know, say $50 to this event. You put on this headset, and all of a sudden you're transferred into the stadium. You're from a press box. You're from front row seats. It's like you're there watching the freaking game.
I'd pay it.
Absolutely, I'd pay it.
I wouldn't even think twice about paying. I'd pay it in a heartbeat. If it was $50.
They've already got some little clips out where you can go on and see a college basketball game, or they had a couple college football games where they had just little 10-minute clips, and you feel like you're there watching it. You see both sidelines. You can see people around, sitting in the stands. And
you wouldn't
there's
have to
going to be some cool stuff coming from it.
Crazy amount of money, because if you charge $50 for something like that, then people will do it, and then you'll have and if all you need is your phone. You don't necessarily have to have like a PS4 or one of those Oculuses. If you could legitimately just have like a phone to do it on, I mean, you could have a better experience, I guess, if you had a PS4, and that could be an option. But if you paid $50, just like Apple Pay or whatever, Google Pay, whatever you wanted to use, and like you're in it, they would kill it. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, they would.
But
I copyright that for everyone listening out there. I want a cut of this. Once I can watch the Super Bowl next year, I want to see some residual income coming from this thing.
Yeah, it'll never happen. Roger Goodell would never let that happen. You know that. Come on.
It's worth a shot.
That is worth a shot. But since we're talking about that type of an experience with the NFL Super Bowl, the Jags, and so predictions were you had Patriots, and you had the Vikings? You had the Vikings, right?
I did.
So did I. So we both had the same predictions. It was kind of weird because your predictions were kind of flip-flopped in terms of like the final scores. If you would have flip-flopped them, you'd been on point. So
pretty much exact opposite of what score I thought was going to happen with these games.
And we'll talk about the Jags and the Patriots first because, man, that game was good. That was a good competitive game, and I really felt that the Jaguars would be able to hold off. I knew that Tom Brady was going to make a run. It's just Tom Brady and the Patriots. I get it. But I really felt that they were going to be able to step up and hold them off, and it would have been just a crazy upset, and Vegas would have been really pissed, and that would have been awesome. But it didn't happen, and that sucked for me. But I felt like Blake Bortles, man, like he did. You couldn't have asked him to do much more, right? I mean, I felt he did really
absolutely,
well, man.
Yeah, he absolutely. He played well enough that they probably should have won that game. I mean, he went out and threw 22 for 36, 293 touchdown. 0 interceptions, which is probably the biggest one there.
Yeah.
And the thing, just watching him, some of his throws he was pinpointing to where only his receivers could catch it.
Yeah,
he really showed.
The game. He sure did.
Yeah, he really showed Jacksonville that they don't really need to go out and get a quarterback. I think they already got one there.
I really feel that way too. I felt like that was his. I mean, what are you gonna do? And you know what? And even at the end of the game, like you felt for him. Honestly, I felt for Blake Bortles because there's nothing else he could have really done. He left it all out there, man. He did everything he possibly could. The team did very well. I felt like that was just a really good game. And I know I told you I'm not like this huge hater of the Patriots, but I was super pissed that they won. And I felt that on that one particular drive, I know we kind of differ on a couple things here, but I felt that the personal foul, the hit on Gronk was bullcrap. I really felt that with that hit, man, I felt like he led with his shoulder, and because of the way that the ball was thrown, the play was happening, there was some helmet to helmet, but it was not anything that was led. He literally led with the shoulder. But in case anybody just doesn't know, you know, the way that your body works, your shoulder's pretty damn close to your head, especially when you have big ass shoulder pads on and you're trying to make a tackle. So sometimes that stuff does happen. So if it was incidental and didn't mean to, I felt the personal foul was not necessary for that one. And then immediately following that, I felt that the pass interference was bogus too, because I mean we make it hard enough on the defense, I feel, to even do anything. But then when you have the offense doing the exact same thing all the way down the entire length of the field, but then we have to make it a call to defensive pass interference, and then that's when you get in trouble, right? And that's when they have the opportunity, like right out the gate, because they're so close, to really just, I mean, that momentum just shifted. On that play alone, that just completely changed the whole tone of the game changed, the momentum changed. At that moment in time, I think I would honestly think that 98% of America, whoever else or anybody watching that game, literally felt that here we go, Patriots. I mean, I think literally everybody thought the Patriots were going to make a comeback, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that was a huge drive there on the last drive by the Patriots, and I agree with you on that pass interference penalty. I think Bouye had good positioning on it, and I don't think it was a catchable pass anyway. So that one, I think that one was maybe Patriots got a little favor on that one. The Gronk one, I kind of differ a little bit. I think that one, I could see the defenseless receiver. I mean, they lost him for the game. Dude was concussed. Another reason why as soon as that happened.
Like, when do we stop that stuff? Like, when does it actually, like, if you, so did they, I mean, maybe I'm wrong here, right? But did they, like, when do you actually stop it from becoming a contact sport then? Because in all honesty, like, the defense has such a disadvantage already because they can't do anything, because the quarterback is protected more than anybody else in the league, right? I mean, you can't even, I don't know. I feel like even if you're on time and you make the hit, if it looks like it's a violent hit, they're gonna call you, and you make it hard on the defenders already because of that, and then you start working on the cornerbacks, and now the cornerbacks aren't allowed to, like, push them back. When do you say, okay, when does the defense get any advantage? I mean, do they? Do you feel they
have absolutely no advantage? That's where the NFL is trying to figure out that line of trying to keep these players safe, but still, I mean, it's football. It's a contact sport. People are going to get hurt. People are going to get hit hard. They're trying to find that line where they're trying to take some of the big hits away, but it's football. It's going to happen. That's what I mean.
They
like, get paid these millions of dollars. They know it's going to happen.
Yeah, and for a lot of these guys, it isn't even like, I mean, the money is probably great, but they love the game. They love the contact. They love the physicality of the game. And when you start taking that away from them, I don't know if you're going to, I mean, like, if you have a son, right, are you going to be like, hey, you should play football? I don't know. Like, I just feel like there's just this thing of you're taking it away from what it really is. And what it really is people know what they're getting into. Same thing when you walk into a ring and you're going to be an MMA fighter, you know that you're going to get knees and elbows and fists to the face.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing, but I don't know. I get what they're trying to do. They get lawsuits, and then people are trying to get money because they say that they haven't been informed. But maybe they just need to do better at informing, rather than trying to protect it as much as they are in these situations, I guess. But whatever. So, anyways, man. So we talked about that one, but so that game was good. I wasn't let down. I thought it was a really good game. I really felt for them. I kind of was hoping the Jags could find out, but I feel the Jags now can build off of this. You'll see them probably the favorites in that division, I would imagine. I mean, I don't see anybody really. Maybe the Texans kind of challenge them. Colts really haven't done much, so we'll see if that changes, but I like to see that division again.
It's got to be a good feeling in Jacksonville having a season like this instead of going into the off season. Well, we need to replace this player and replace that player, maybe get a new head coach, and maybe we just pick up and move cities. Man, they got something.
They're
to
thinking
build
about
on there.
that. Yeah,
they're
for sure.
They're going to be a team. Yeah, they're going to be a team for a while. You're going to be seeing in the playoffs, and they got some bright stuff to look forward to now, Jacksonville.
Right. So the next game, here we go. Listen to this one. I'm going to put something out there because this game was kind of like a whatever, but...
Oh! Great Odin's Raven!
And I mean that in a way of what a snooze fest the game was. That was a complete freaking letdown of the momentum they had going into that game for Minnesota to just find some way to be competitive. I mean, me and you picked them to go and be able to play in Minnesota. They had so much momentum off of that game. If they win this next game, they're in the Super Bowl in their hometown, which is, like I said, has never happened before, to a 38-7 drubbing. And they came out firing, right? I mean, was it the first drive they got a touchdown? I think it was the first drive of the game.
Vikings marched right down.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, here we go. To not scoring again the entire game? That's crazy. I knew Philly's defense was pretty good, I guess
I don't know where their defense disappeared to. They I don't know if they saw the first drive and just thought, all right, we're going to be able to rely on the offense and we can just kind of kick back this week or what happened. But I know I didn't see a 38-7 victory coming. Anyone listening, if you saw this coming, raise your hand and then put the damn hand down because I know nobody saw this thing coming.
No, there's no way.
The thing that was most impressed for me was Nick Foles. Dude's backup quarterback, 26, 33, 352, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, where was this? Where did this come from?
Right.
He's a good quarterback. They just what about Wentz? I mean, you looking at this like, do we even need the dude? If he goes on to win the Super Bowl, I'm gonna have some questions there in Philly of who's starting next year. I mean, this dude's playing lights out right now. If they go into the Super Bowl and have another performance like that, I don't know what call they make. I have no idea. I wouldn't want to be the one making that call.
I think you have to ride Wentz because he got you there, and then I think you either keep Foles in the mix. I mean, it's almost like the Cardell Jones thing, right? Like you kind of have a good battle, but I think you got to ride Wentz because he got you there. I mean, that's just the way I feel, and then maybe use him as make Foles as the second the highest paid backup quarterback in the league. Then, man, just in case something ever happens, you want somebody like that. I mean, if you're the Green Bay Packers, listen to that, watch that, because that's how you need a backup quarterback like that has experience, that has been in situations, that understands the game, that knows how to win it, and that's what you need to do. So, Green Bay Packers, find a Nick Foles, please, just in case. And then we'll be good.
Or maybe just go get Nick Foles. I'd be all right with that.
That's fine with me, too. I'm good with that, too.
But, that's like you said, like we were telling last week, once Wentz went down and Foles came in, we were both thinking that they were done. And for him to come in and
of course
play like this, man, I think they got a pretty good shot in the Super Bowl now, especially with him playing like that. And back on the other side, man, the Vikings, Keenum just kind of disappeared. 24 or 28 of 48, 271, a touchdown, 2 interceptions, one of them taken back for a touchdown.
Yeah,
he looked overmatched in this game. The Philly defense, he couldn't figure out what the heck they were doing. they got that first drive where they marched right down the field, touchdown, and then they couldn't do anything. It, like you said, it turned into you're half watching that and half turns on just to keep your interest in it.
Right. All right. Well, let's see here, man. Oh, so let's get into this one. This one's kind of cool topic. So, we'd love for you guys to chime into this one too, because obviously everybody's going to have a different opinion, I feel, on this one. But if you were going to be able to create your own NFL mega team and you could have a quarterback, a running back, receivers, some tight ends, and a defense, you can even pick 2 running backs, 2 receivers, whatever, right? And let's say that was your team for the next 6 years. Who are you going with?
I had some trouble with this thing, man. There's some good young talent, but when I was starting with the quarterback, and we'll see how many of these we come up with the same answers, but if I'm looking at a young quarterback and I'm looking for 6 years, so Brady the Freak might actually play 6 years, but I take him out of the equation. Aaron Rodgers, take him out of the equation. Right. So we're looking at the young guys.
Sure.
The guy we were just talking about, man, I'm starting Carson Wentz. Dude's only 25. He's got 6 years to play. He showed this year what he can do. So for me personally, I'm going Carson Wentz. Got it.
Running backs, 2 running backs. Who you got?
Running back.
You get 2 of them.
I'm going Le'Veon Bell, 25. He's dude's a stud. I'm interested to see what happens to him this offseason with his threats of retiring and not wanting to wanting to get that long-term contract. So that's who I would pick. The second one would have to be Ezekiel Elliott from Columbus. I mean, dude's young, dude's beast. He may even be that number 1. So I'd have to go Zeke. Wide receivers. This was probably the toughest. I think the number 1's pretty easy. Odell Beckham. You got to put him in there, dude.
Yep.
Because he catches as long as he can stay healthy. He's a clear-cut number 1. Number 2 is a little bit tough. There's a lot of different players you can go with, but I went with Mike Evans, making Johnny Manziel looking pretty good in college, making Jameis Winston looking pretty good now in the NFL. So that's what I would do. And I even put down the third one. Michael Thomas showed some pretty good heart.
He's
at
getting
Ohio State.
He's getting some great growth out of there, man. He's doing good.
So that's I would those first 2. Thomas you could put in there for Evans. Tight end, I mean, can you go anything besides Rob Gronkowski? I don't know if you can pick anyone beside him. He's 28, so he'd be towards the top tier of that age group. But as long as he can stay healthy, he can play that long. Second option for that, I'd pick Zach Ertz. Dude's a stud. Defense, this one was a little tough. If I was looking at a defense as a whole right now, even though they just got beat last week, I'd take Jacksonville Jaguars. They got a lot of young guys on that team.
Right? It's young talent. Now they just got some experience, right? So now they can kind of feel what it takes to get there and then get past it now. That's what I feel. I feel like you're right with that one. So
that's I want to hear what your lineup is. See how close we are here.
Man, I really do. I feel like there's a couple different ones I got here for sure. So quarterback-wise, and this may be completely off the wall on this one, I may be a little nuts, but if I was going to take a team right now, based off of what I've seen so far, right, of just the dynamics of this guy, the way that the team can just rally around him and how he can just – the dude puts up points, man, is Deshaun Watson. Man, I would probably love to build my team around that because of the way that he can just move around the pocket. He's a stuttier Russell Wilson, if that makes sense. I feel like because he's got the height, right? He's got the arm. So I definitely feel that I would go with Deshaun Watson be my first one. Number 2 would be Carson Wentz. What do you think about Deshaun? You think I'm right there, or do you think I have at least?
Yeah, dude.
I got something there.
Look what he did with Houston when he came in this year.
That's what I mean.
They went from absolutely nothing to they were putting up so many points the scoreboard couldn't keep up. To he got hurt and it was right back to the old way. So I can see why you came up with that one.
Gotcha.
I'd still put Wentz, but I can see your argument for Watson.
Okay. Running backs, I'm going to be boring there. But I probably flip flop them. I'd do Zeke first and then Le'Veon too, just because I'm kind of worried about that. I would even possibly put Hunt in there, maybe, because I feel like there's a good upside there with him in Kansas City. But I would do Zeke first and Bell number 2 on that one. Wide receivers, I agree with ODB. The dude's just a freak of nature when it comes to what he can do. But I was actually surprised when you sent this over to me, and we talked about it too just now, that Antonio Brown is not on your list. That dude is an insane receiver, and you could throw him, I don't know, you could throw him anything, and he's catching the ball. He could have a broken leg, and he's catching 11 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown. The dude's a freak. So I was actually surprised you didn't have him on there, but I would go Odell Beckham, and then I would have Antonio Brown for sure. And when it came to Rob, I think the reason why I didn't want to pick Gronkowski as Gronk is because he's always hurt. I mean, he's just always getting, like, something's messed up with him. He's never playing. He's got some issues with the injuries there, so I'd probably go. My pick would be Travis Kelce. I would go him as my option for a tight end because I feel there's more upside there, and I feel like he's young enough to where he can bounce back from certain things. And he's not going to get as boo-booey like Gronk does. And then defense, I follow you up with the Jags. They just have such a young lineup, and I think they are really just matured this entire time, and they got like a nasty taste in their mouth because they were supposed to be the ones that were supposed to keep Brady in check between Ramsey talking crap and everybody else, Miles Jack, and just all these other people that should have, which they did for the most part, but there were some plays that they could have made. So I feel like they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. They're really going to want to showcase some things, so I would go with the Jags as well. So whoever's listening, let us know what your team would be. If you're going to be able to pick a mega team and you could do it for a person that you would have for the next 6 years on your roster for your starting lineup there, who would it be? Shoot us, text us, get it at Instagram. You can go to info@realdadbrotalk.com. Let us know what you think, man. So for sure. But I think we got some good diversity there with our teams there. So I thought it was pretty good.
The best part of that whole, when you're going through your team, is I love the term boo-booey.
Boo-booey.
I've never heard it before, but I absolutely love it.
Gronk's
if you're on Twitter, you're shooting Real Dad Bro Talk, your lineup, you got to put hashtag boo-booey with that.
And
I would
care how you
absolutely
spell
love
it. Just spell it so it sounds like it's boo-booey. We'll get it. We'll understand.
I love it, man.
Dude.
Either lineup, you couldn't go wrong. But I am interested to see some of the listeners what they come up with and see how close we are compared to what they think.
I think my team would smash your team, but anyways.
Well, you probably drunk in Vegas, so.
Yeah, right. Oh man. So, but real quick too, we want to put a contest out there, man. So Super Bowl's coming up, a couple weeks. We're gonna have the Eagles, Patriots. We want to know who you think is going to win it, and then we want to know the final score of that game. And then whoever picks the winner and then gets closest to the final score of the game, we're going to get you guys a free shirt, for sure, no doubt about it. So let's get involved with this, start getting this going. If we need to, we can even start, maybe, I don't know if it's a Super Bowl poll we can start or something like that, Nick. But anyways, just shoot us on Instagram, Twitter, whatever you can, and just let us know who you're going to pick and what your final score is, and we'll keep track of it, and then we'll announce the winner as soon as the Super Bowl's over, and then we'll let you pick out the t-shirt that you want. So it's a cool contest that we're going to do. We'll talk about a stupid challenge that Nick wants to do here in a minute. So Nick decided that it'd be really awesome to do a one-chip challenge, and I told him he's dumb, and they don't have those chips anymore anyways, so we're not going to do that. So me, being the awesome guy I am, I found a substitute, which was stupid of me as well. But so we're going to do, what is the challenge we're going to do next week or something like that? So what do you want to do?
So we got some Carolina Reaper beef jerky that's getting delivered. And from reading the reviews on this stuff, I don't know if there's going to be enough milk in this world to help with the burn that is possibly going to come from this stuff.
This is going to be terrible.
I'm nervous and sweating just thinking about what this is going to be like, but it should be a funny ass video to watch, and I know it certainly isn't going to be funny to be part of it.
No,
recording,
it's going to be terrible. I've
actually
bit into a Carolina Reaper before. You know that? I took a bite of a small. When I say a bite, I mean like the smallest bite you could possibly take of this thing, and I wanted to punch people in the face because it hurt so bad, and I didn't even take that big of a bite of a pepper. Like, this thing is going to be completely douched in Carolina Reaper, and with the jerky, you can't just like swallow jerky whole. I mean, you could, but you're going to choke and die. So you're going to have to chew it, and it's going to get saliva and juice. Like, we're going to have to get gloves. You realize that? We're going to have to wear like freaking rubber gloves and put it on our mouths, because I don't want this getting into my eyeballs, because I will go blind. Everyone will go blind if you put this in your eyes. And seriously, like, I want you to be prepared for the most excruciating pain. It's not fun. There's nothing, you can't taste anything. You really just want to find a knife and literally just cut your face off, because it's going to hurt that bad. And everyone's going to laugh at you.
But...
No, it's not going to be interesting. People are going to laugh their asses off seeing how we can't take it. So what we'll do, guys, is we'll eat a bite of this jerky, and we have to time it. Okay? So you will eat a bite of the jerky, and we're going to have to time it. So at least, I don't know, what do you want to say, 3 minutes? 3 or 5 minutes? What do you want to say? Pick one.
We'll say 5.
5 minutes? Oh, God, that's stupid. Okay.
I know you want 3, so we'll go 5.
Okay, 5 minutes will go by, and then we'll be allowed to just douche our faces with milk and ice and whatever we possibly can do to just not die. We'll do that. So look forward to that one. That's coming soon. We're going to put that on YouTube. We'll put a little bit of snippets on the Instagram so everyone will know when that's coming out. So stay tuned for that one. If anybody has done it and just says we're really completely stupid, share us your video, because I want to see it, because I want to laugh at you now, because I won't be laughing later when it's in my face and in my mouth and I want to cry. So it'll be good, though. It'll be a fun time. We're going to start our own challenge. It's going to be the Carolina Reaper Beef Jerky Challenge, and we're going to challenge everybody else to be as stupid as we are, and just it's just dumb. But I agreed to it. I told him I would do it. Can't back down. And Nick even said he might even eat a jalapeno jerky beforehand, and he might even eat a habanero one leading up to the Carolina Reaper. I told him to go F himself. I would never do that. So he might do that, and I'll laugh at you when you do that. So
we will see if I can get enough liquid courage in me beforehand. That could be a possibility.
So dumb. You're so crazy if you did that. You know that, right? Seriously. That's just like going to be the worst thing. And it's just, I'm interested to see what will happen there. But until next time, my friends, check us on Instagram. Keep following us. Let us know what we can do. If there's anything you want to hear, let us know. And then we'll get back to you next week. We have another episode, and we'll show the video, too, of the Carolina Reaper. Talk to you guys soon.
Join us next week for another epic episode of RDBT. Keep track of what we're doing on all social media at Real Dad Bro Talk. Till next time.